Ruslan.
One of the questions or comments I've been getting is, Ruslan, why do you talk about Christian content and Christians being in media? And I said, you know what? Let me explain it this way, because I think this is an important idea that I think many of us miss. Regardless on what it is you're thinking, I've gotten some of this pushback. Ruslan, you talk about content, Christian content. We shouldn't use the word content. The world uses the word content. Branding, you shouldn't use the word brand. Okay, so let's just do this. We're going to remove those two words from our vocabulary, because I understand that content and branding, they're kind of stale terms. And I heard this from Curtis King. Let's just swap out those words. Let's take the word content out and let's just change it to the word messaging. Okay, it's a stronger word. It's a good, strong alpha word, messaging. Let's take the word branding and let's swap that out for the word reputation. Okay, so we're gonna talk about messaging or storytelling and reputation. When you think content, you're thinking YouTube and that kind of stuff. But here's the deal. When you leave a comment on my YouTube channel and you say, Ruslan, we shouldn't talk about content as Christians because Christians should be consumed with preaching the gospel and preaching Jesus crucified. You know what you just did there? You just created content, friend. You literally just created content. That little comment, that's messaging. You created some content, you dropped it in my comment section, trying to be cute, trying to virtue signal with your deep theology about how, oh, Ruslan, you're on YouTube and you're trying to make money, but content, you just literally did it. You did it right in front of us. We all saw you do it. Everybody that's in the chat, in the comment section, we're all creating content together. We're all messaging. Now the question is the messaging good? That's the real question. If we're talking about branding, reputation, your reputation and your name precedes you. People hear about you before they meet you a lot of times. That is branding, by the way. We serve King Jesus, who has the illest reputation, the greatest reputation, who was the most amazing person to be around in his day and age. Incredible. Breakthrough everywhere going, people loving him, people hating him. He's healing people, he's feeding people, he's doing all kinds of stuff, raising people from the dead. Holy smokes, the illest reputation. Luke 2:52 says that Jesus grew in favor with man and God. He grew in favor with man, that his fame spread. So we got Jesus, who has the illest reputation. Yet, sometimes in history, Christians, in my opinion, have misrepresented Jesus. We've done what? We've mismanaged the reputation. We've came with some faulty messaging. We've came with some terrible representation. We were more obsessed with being known by the things we were against than not by the things that we were for. We were more consumed with the things that divided us than we were by the things that united us. We have the most amazing, incredible product that's time tested and true for the past 2,000 years. And we have not the best messaging, not the best storytelling, not the best branding. This is why a lot of us are on YouTube, because we are trying to help you understand some of these tough issues, to say, hey, by the way, we're all creating content all the time. Everything is about persuasion. Some of you guys are like, oh, sales is bad. No, sales is just persuasion. You're always trying to persuade somebody. You want to take that girl out on a date, you're trying to persuade her. You want to have a conversation with your wife about where you should go out to dinner. You're trying to persuade them to, hey, let's go to this restaurant instead of this. It's communication. It's all the same thing. So how do you want to help with furthering the gospel? Make sure your reputation is intact, your brand. So if I'm a Christian creator and I'm going to represent Jesus, I'm not going to pull up with some sketchy graphics, something that look like it was created in Paint Bucket, right? I'm going to show up because I serve an excellent king. I'm going to show up with the illest graphics. I'm going to show up and give 150%. I'm going to show up and do the very best that I can. I'm going to show up and be more passionate. And I'm not going to care if you go, oh, Ruslan, you're being so emotional. No. I'm passionate about this stuff. And I'm going to make sure that my messaging is on point. I'm going to make sure that, hey, I cut cameras and I got a video switcher. Why do I do that? Why is this camera moving? You know why? Because I know that your attention span is short. Because I know with the TikTok generation or even TV, you're used to cuts. So I'm going to cut to make sure I maintain your attention, because the message is that important. Because the message is that important. The message is the greatest message of all time with the greatest hero of all time. There's this concept in branding called storyboard by Donald Miller, okay? The storyboard model goes like this. There's 4 characters in every story. There's a hero, there's a villain, there's a sage, and there's a victim, right? The hero saves the victim, the villain is hurting the victim, and the sage is the guide. Donald Miller's entire approach to marketing and branding is genius. His approach goes, hey, don't make your product the hero. You are the guide. You are the sage. Your customer is the hero. You are just here to add to them whatever it is they want to do. Okay, that's the narrative of the story. Okay, religion paints you as the hero and paints God as the guide. God is the guide, you're the hero. Christianity actually says, no. Jesus is the hero and you're the villain and the victim and you need saving. So from a marketing standpoint, God is the hero. God is on the throne. Jesus is king. Jesus comes on a rescue mission. Jesus steps into history, lives the life that we couldn't live, dies the death that we should have died, rescues us, redeems us, washes us, makes us clean, makes us born again, and he flips the entire thing on itself. Okay? And so there are some distinctions, yes, but it doesn't change the fact that, hey, if you are a follower of Jesus, you are always creating content, whether you want to or not. You're always branding and selling, whether you want to or not. The difference is we have the greatest product ever. And all we got to do is point people back to the product. Okay, I'm not talking about if you have a business, your business in which you're selling may be different, but as a Christian content creator, I'm pointing people back to Jesus. It's not really about me. It really isn't. Right? I'm pointing people back to Jesus. The greatest product of all time. The greatest hero, the greatest king, the greatest, he is the greatest. Okay? And the messaging is the medium that we choose to use, whether it's music, whether it's YouTube, whether it's whatever, fill in the blank, whatever you want. Your platform in the marketplace. Hey, Bono, we talked about Bono earlier. Hey, Bono doesn't overtly preach a whole lot in his music, but if you listen to his interviews, if you really listen, if you got ears to hear, you'll notice that U2 has worship songs, whatever it is. And some people just make flat out worship songs. And some people make worship rap like I Am Rescued and he's incredible. And other people like Nick D start podcasts on TikTok and blow up and have 500,000 followers in half a week. Whatever it is, and he's using humor. Whatever it is, ultimately, we're always creating content or messaging. We're always attempting persuade people and sell people all the time. And Jesus is the ultimate hero of the entire story all the time. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this is empowering. I'm not trying to belittle anybody. I'm not trying to minimize everybody, but I think sometimes when we get into critiquing Christian content creators and we get into critiquing these things, we don't really know what we're talking about. Like, you sound old. Like you're on hymns and we've all moved on to digital music. And there's nothing wrong with hymns. I'm not mad at you for liking hymns. Some hymns be hitting, right? But listen, music is created different. It's consumed different. Like, some of y'all don't know how to use YouTube. You don't know a comment section. You might watch a video. Listen, you don't get it. That's fine. But don't look down your nose at people and be like, oh, you know what the Bible is? By the way, this is them writing letters. Content, messaging, right? Like, it's just the format has changed. 200 years ago, it was what? Hymns and all kinds of cool. And by the way, a lot of those hymns were worldly songs that they took and flipped. Some of y'all didn't know that. You think these hymns are so sacred. You don't know that they took those melodies from the world and flipped them in the same way Christian hip hop artists do now. They just take the thing and flip it, right? What's in your hand? When David went to fight Goliath, Saul tried to put his armor on him. He tried to put his armor on him. And David said, I can't fit this armor. I'm not comfortable. David took the slingshot and the rock that was already in his hand. What was already in his hand? When Moses was afraid to go and confront Pharaoh, God said, take the staff that's already in your hand. So my question to you guys is, in terms of content, whatever, all that stuff, what's in your hand? What's in your hand right now? What's in your hand right now? Some of you guys have incredible personalities. You got incredible stories. You got incredible ideas, incredible inventions. Use that unto the glory of God. use that unto the glory of God. By the way, if you guys are trying to figure out what's in your hand, we have a free training in the description below. It's going to be packaged with a larger course that's coming up here in a few weeks. We did a soft launch on how to find your voice, your niche, all that kind of stuff. That's in the description. You can check that out. It's completely free. And so hopefully this is helpful. That's there's like a workshop in there with an interactive sheet, and it's pretty cool. Check that out. Maybe that'll help you. Hopefully this is helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys. Give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. All right?
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Yes. I saw my mama smile through the silhouette. Sunshine and all, sunshine and all. But she don't know that I still feel like we ain't made it yet. No, I ain't lying at all.